Diving is the most fascinating and spectacular branch of swimming. Being able to enter the water neatly head first is merely the beginning. The fundamentals of diving should be taught after this stage has been reached, and the pupil should learn how to use the springboard as early as possible. This is the forward stance. The whole weight of the body evenly distributed over both feet, legs straightened together, body erect, arms raised forward level with the shoulders and their width apart, head erect, chin in. Notice the arm swing preparatory to the body leaving the board. Backward stance. The heels overhang the water, but otherwise it's the same as the forward stance. It is essential that the feet be comfortably settled on the end of the board for the backward stance. The last step of the springboard walk, not run, consists of a jump as high as possible into the air. The body is upright and the head and legs are slightly forward. The arms are swung down as the body descends, and both feet are light on the board together. Here the feet are apart on the board, but brought together as the body leaves it. This applies to bouncing for practice, but not to diving. Back practice bounce. The knees are not bent until the arms are swung down the second time. Having learnt to bounce, the next thing is to actually jump into the water. In the plain forward jump, the body moves slightly forward. As the body leaves the board, the arms are swung upward, but are brought down to the side at the top of the flight. The entry is vertical, toes pointed, head upright. This applies to every dive with the feet first entry. The entire body must pass through the hole made in the water by the tips of the toes. This is the straddle jump. Notice that the legs are not opened until the body is well up in the air. Here is the pike jump. In this, the pike position is assumed by bringing the legs towards the body at the top of the flight. The legs are together and straight with the toes pointed. The haunch jump. In this, the body is fully bent at the hips and knees, but the toes must be kept pointed. The haunch dive is similar, the haunch position being assumed at the top of the flight, but the body is half turned towards the water. The haunch dive is halfway to the front somersault in the tuck position shown here. Note how compactly the whole body is tucked up. The first of these is the swallow dive. This is now the only recognized plane dive. In this dive, the set swallow position is not arrived at until the body is at the top of its flight. The heels at this moment are above the head, and the arms have been brought down to shoulder level. For entry into the water, the arms are brought together straight above the head. The next is a front somersault in the straight position. In this dive, the takeoff is similar to that of a swallow dive, except that there is a much greater flick backwards of the legs in order to turn the body completely over into the somersault. This is the front pike and is very important. Note how just before the top of the flight, the feet are not trailing behind the body, but are, if anything, a little in front. At the top of the flight, the shoulders have been brought down towards the legs, which are now vertical. The fingers rest on the toes, and the head is held well up. This is a forward somersault in the pike position. It is essential that the body be as closely piked as possible, but the position of the arms is at the discretion of the diver. The narrower the angle of the pike, the easier it is to make the body revolve. Here is a 1.5 forward somersault with pike. Notice the body makes nearly 1.5 revolutions before the straightening out for head first entry. This is the flying 1.5 front somersault. A well-defined straight position must be shown before the somersault movement is commenced. Notice this head-first entry of the same dive, where the entire body from the tips of the fingers to the toes passes through the same hole in the water. This should apply to every head-first entry dive. Here is a 2.5 forward somersault with tuck. This is the same dive, but in the more difficult pike position. This is a triple front somersault, which is as yet not a recognized dive. He seems to have spun out of himself. Now go on, pull yourself together. That's better.